I had a starter. My starter had rose well. I follow all the steps they tell you to do, right? My wife got me some Bannetons for Christmas. They had a recipe in it. Bannetons, I'll show you. These are made out of wood pulp, right? These are your baskets. And it came with a cover. Also came with instructions, right? So I seasoned those. Anyways, to make a long story short, I made my bread last night. And it turns out one of the steps that I was doing, which is called bulk fermentation, because sourdough bread has live yeast, it makes its own, right? By the way, this is an espresso, and I got some fresh homemade whipped cream in there that my daughter made. I made myself a breakfast, and I wanted to top it off with toast. I had a, this is basically, excuse me, sorry about that. This is like a bodybuilder breakfast because it's full of protein. I got 3 eggs and egg whites. I also have some tri-tip that I made the other day. My daughter made some guacamole, had some fresh berries. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut this bread open. So let's get you guys on there to see the bread. Move this out of the way. I didn't sleep much last night because I was baking bread. I was up till about 6 in the morning. And here we go. Here's my bread. It rose really well. You can listen to the crust. It's nice and soft. It's actually light. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut it. Had a little ear. Got a little fancy leaves on there. So here we go. All right. We're going to look at the inside, which is what they call the crumble. So this is soft and fluffy and airy. I'm very, very happy with it. It's also not on one side. That's what it looks like. Not bad, huh? So what I'm going to do now, cut a slice off, and I'm going to toast it to top off my breakfast. You can see my dogs in the background. They want some of this, but can't have it. But yeah, this bread feels really good. So nice and airy. So I'm going to have a slice of toast. Toast it. The thing about sourdough bread, when you toast it, you basically have to make it as a loaf, right? And I have a loaf. But I made some more bread the other day, and it didn't come out. And that's because I used regular all-purpose flour instead of bread flour. So you see how big your bread is, right? So I'm going to cut it in half, stick it in the toaster. And I'll have that with my toast. I really like to cook, and now I'm learning to make, especially sourdough. But okay, so the thing about this, right? These recipes, most sourdough bread, they can be really complicated. For example, you have an auto lease, which is where you put flour and water in a bowl and you let it ferment, right? Because you use it makes its own yeast versus using a ready-made yeast. Like this, right? Most breads have yeast. This is a instant, and this is a regular. So when you put yeast in bread, it rises much faster. And what you have to do is you have to feed it first, so it starts eating what you feed it. You normally give it sugar and water. It bubbles up, then you put it in with your flour. This is different. This is the only bread that's different. Now they do have a hybrid recipe that I have seen online, but it has yeast in it. So it's not really real yeast. Oh, by the way, when you cut your bread, you want to let's see. a day or two. So what I'm gonna do now, keep it on the cutting board, and I'm gonna keep it fresh. I've been putting it in a bag. You can also put it in a brown paper bag, or I've seen people that sell it. They put it in plastic, right? I don't want to do that. So the thing about sourdough bread is that you have to let it ferment, right? When you ferment it, you can put it in the refrigerator and let it cold ferment, or you can put it in a proofing box. People have proofing boxes. This is what the bread looks like toasted. Fantastic. I'm gonna put some cream cheese on it, then eat it with my meal. So back to the bulk ferment. What I was doing, sorry about that. Your bulk ferment is going to depend on the temperature of your kitchen, temperature and humidity. So our houses vary depending on where we live, right? The temperature inside. And as a result, a lot of people use proofing boxes. But they had given me a tip in this instruction booklet, and I used it this time with my starter and with my dough. What I did was I put it in the oven, right here. Let me see the oven. Put it in the oven with the light on. And to be honest, it really doesn't take that much time to ferment. I think a lot of times they tell you, they give you a timeline, right? And it's a crazy timeline. It can be anywhere from 4 to 12 hours for your dough to be ready. And if you guys have been watching my live streams and my sourdough posts, they basically have, for the most part, have all been fails. I mean, the bread looks good, but it never had a really good crumble like it does now. So you look at it, that looks great, right? This is how I like to eat my bread. I'm gonna listen to a little crunch from the crust. Nothing better than fresh bread. So as I was saying, I kept making my bread, kept coming out wrong. It was heavy, it was gummy. The loaves were supposed to feel light and airy, but they were brutal. I'll show you some. So I was telling you that the last loaf I made, you see the difference in the loaf? When you put them side by side? How this one's flat, it looks like a big giant cookie. Pizza, really. It's very hard, very heavy, very dense. When you look inside at the crumble, it's gummy. Now you can still use this bread. You want to toast it, basically. But it's not the same. You know, and for me, when I've been watching all these videos and people are making beautiful loaves of bread, right? And I'm thinking, how come I can't do that? From start to finish, it's like magic. So I was telling people, I think there's a sourdough bread conspiracy, right? People that make bread right, and then the people that don't try to do it. So you have all these different recipes online that you're seeing. which are crazy. When you rebake your bread too, all you do is pour some water on it, right? Then you toast it, which is amazing. Let me wash my hands. So because this dough is wet, I'm going to grab it, paper towel. Well, you see how this one sprung up, right? You got this one. Because my dough was too sticky, I put this one in a bread loaf pan. M Wizzy Gaming, yo, hey, how you doing? Okay, so I'm making sourdough bread, right? These were fails. These, I mean, they're still good. The bread's still good. You can eat it. It's basically flour and water and salt. But today, I finally got my bread correct. So, I wanted to film it. And to show you guys, because I've been on the sourdough journey now for, I want to say like five to 6 months, and I'm obsessed with it. It's hard to not talk about anything but it. However, and then people tell you all kinds of different things, right? But nothing has seemed to work. Well, as you can see, I finally got my bread right. I'll show you the difference in the loaves, if you can see them. Sorry. You see the difference in the loaves? This, because the dough wasn't that manageable, was put in a bread loaf pan. And you can always do that if your dough is too wet or too sticky. And the reason why it came out that way is because I over fermented my bread. I let it bulk ferment too long. Bulk ferment is just when it starts rising, right? It makes its own yeast. And I showed you earlier regular yeast versus sourdough bread makes its own yeast, wild yeast. It comes when you mix it, right? You have a starter. I'll show you a starter that I have. I want to say I have like 5 or 6 starters, and these are your starters. What you do when you make your starter, you weigh your jar, put your weight on it. That way you know. And you don't have to throw it away. Never throw it away. All you do is feed it, right? You give it flour and water, the same amount or ratio, which is a 1-to-1. You can see inside there. Stir it up, put a little bit of flour. This is getting kind of dark. I don't know. This one might be better. Let's see. But yeah, you feed your starter, right? Because sourdough takes a while, although there are recipes out there where you can make it faster. And that's what I like and I'm looking for, because normally it takes a day or day to 2. It really does take a while. A dog in the way. Okay, so you see the difference between these loaves, right? These are gummy and dense, right? These two that I have, and the bread is hard. When you squeeze it. This is the one that came out right. You see how much fluffier it is, even than a loaf pan, right? It's got a rise. It has an ear. When you squeeze it, it's soft. So yeah, that's it, man. I finally got it right. I toasted it, and that is my sourdough reveal. And those are some of the lessons that I've learned along the way. If you ever make sourdough, it can be very intimidating. And I was very upset and disappointed along the way because it takes so long. But with that in mind, Vilma Takala. Hey, good morning. Bread. Yes, sourdough bread. Thanks for watching, guys. I am finished. Now I'm going to enjoy my breakfast. This is like I said, a bodybuilder breakfast. Nothing but protein. Well, I got a little bit of fruit. I got avocado, guacamole. I got eggs and egg whites. I have tri-tip steak, some raspberries, and fresh sourdough bread. So with that in mind, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, well, check this out, Vilma. This is, I came out, this was a loaf. I made it in a loaf pan because my dough was unmanageable. I made this bread right here in the same pan that I made this loaf. If you can see the difference. See the difference? How one is flat. This one's really flat. This one rounded up and sprung. So, yeah, you guys have a great day, man. God bless you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And Happy New Year to you guys. Yeah, I have some avocado. My daughter made some fresh avocado guacamole, and she also made some whipped cream. But that's it, man. Have a great day, you guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. God bless you. Talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, yeah, that's my new Raider hat. I got a new Raider hat. I'm a Raider fan. Take care. Bye.